Physics Class 12 Chapter 6 Electromagnetic Induction. In the last class we have done motional EMF. Today we shall do energy consideration. Consider a rectangular loop PQRS of length x and breadth L placed in a uniform magnetic field B normal to the loop. PQRS. This is a loop, length is x, width is L, and it is placed in perpendicular to the magnetic field B. It is given by cross, so it is towards the inside, and loop is kept like this. That means the loop and the magnetic field are perpendicular, or the loop is normal to the magnetic field. Arm PQ is moving with velocity v towards left. We consider that this PQ arm is moving with velocity v towards left, okay, given by this arrow v, okay. That is the velocity of the PQ arm. Let R be the resistance of PQ considering negligible resistance of SP, SR and RQ. We'll consider that the resistance of this PQ is R, and for these three arms we'll consider negligible. That means the overall resistance will be small r. Now here, as this PQ is moving towards this side, there will be change in this area of this loop. If there is change in the area, then there will be change in the flux. Here flux is decreasing. Therefore by Faraday's law there will be current induced in this loop. Okay. Now let us see what is the direction of this EMF. By Lenz's law, it will oppose the decrease in the, or oppose in the change in the magnetic flux. Here magnetic flux is decreasing. That means the EMF which is induced will be such that it will support the decrease in the magnetic field. The magnetic field here I have taken as inside. Okay, so you use your right hand thumb and the magnetic field you give inside. Okay, it is going to support the EMF which is going to induced here will support the decrease in the magnetic flux. Magnetic flux is inside, so it is going to support. So it will be in the same direction. So it is supporting. So you give your thumb in the same direction of the magnetic field, and curl your finger. When you curl your finger, that curling finger will give you the direction of the EMF. Okay, like this. If this is my thumb which is going to support the magnetic flux which is decreasing, so it is like this, and this curl your finger which will give a direction of the EMF, so that is towards this side. So in this sense, here it will be like this and it will be like this. Okay, and this current, we can write the current produced EMF will be I is equal to E by R. This is similar to I is equal to V by R. Then from motional EMF, E value is BLV. So you put E value as BLV, divide by this R, call it number 1. We have done in chapter 4 that if there is a current carrying conductor placed in a uniform magnetic field, then there will be some magnetic force on that conductor, and that force is given by F is equal to I L cross B. L is the length of the conductor, B is the magnetic field, and I is the current passing from there. If I write in the magnitude, it will be I L B sine theta. Theta is the angle between L and B. Here what is L? L is the length of PQ. So length of the PQ same as the length of the loop, that means L. Same I have taken. Okay, and the magnetic field is going inside and the current, induced current is I. Okay, now let us see. Here the magnetic field is inside. Okay, and the loop conductor is like this, that is length is L. So L and B, the angle between L and B is 90 degree. So I can write ILB sine pi by 2. Sine pi by 2 is 1. So you can get F is equal to ILB. Now the direction. Okay, the direction is given by Fleming's left hand rule. So Fleming's left hand rule says that the forefinger will give you the field, the middle finger will give you the direction of the motion. Okay, here the current, and thumb will give you the force. Here the magnetic field is inside. So magnetic field means this finger will give you magnetic field. This finger will give you the flow of the current. In this conductor, flow is this side. Now I have shown here by arrow. This towards this side. So flow is this side. The force thumb will give you the force which is this side. Okay. So once again, this is the forefinger will give you the field which is inside. The middle finger will give you the current which is downward, and the force will be, the thumb will give force which is this side. Okay. So on this conductor, the force will be towards this side. Okay. The velocity is this side, force is this side. Okay. So the force on this conductor will be opposite to the velocity of the rod. See, I have written here direction opposite to velocity of the rod. Okay, that is what I have written. Now I, Put the value of I from equation 1, BLV by R. So BLV by R into this LV breakdown from equation 1. Multiply, so B square, L square, V by R, call it number 2. Now the arm PQ is pushed with constant speed V. Mechanical power is required to do this. Now see, we saw that force on this PQ is this side, but this is moving with velocity V. So since it is moving, it will not move automatically. Okay, so that means some power is required to move this. Okay, to push this PQ you require some power, that is mechanical power. Okay, otherwise if suppose this is not moving, that means there is no change in the flux, no EMF will induced. Okay, and mechanical power is required to do this, which is given by P is equal to F into V. This is mechanical power. F value you put from number 2, B square L square V by R, and this V as it is. This we multiply, so you get B square L square V square by R. Call it number 3. Now this mechanical power is given outside. Then what happens to that energy? So here the mechanical energy is dissipated as joule heat given by Pj is equal to I square R. Put the value of I from equation 1, BLV by R. So I put BLV by R whole square into R. B square L square V square by R square into this R. 1 R you cut, B square L square V square by R, and this is similar or identical to equation number 1, mechanical power. Okay, so this joules heating and mechanical power comes to be identical. So what we can conclude that therefore the mechanical energy which was needed to move arm PQ is converted into electrical energy, that is induced EMF, and then to thermal energy. So this is energy consideration. There is a small relation between flow of charge and change in the magnetic flux. By Faraday's law, magnitude of E is delta phi B by delta T. We have used actually d phi by dt. Here just taken as delta phi B by delta T. And current, this EMF is also given by E is equal to I into V. Okay, this is just from here you can think that R I transfer here, so E is equal to I into R. Okay, so E is equal to I into R, but I can be written as delta Q by delta T. If delta Q charge is the flowing, then delta Q by delta T into R. Now this and this, both the values are of E. So you can compare these two values. So I am comparing here delta Q by delta T into R, delta phi B by delta T. Delta T cut, R you transfer here. So we get delta Q is equal to delta phi B by R. And this is a relation between charge flow and change in magnetic flux. So we'll keep this much for today. Next we shall do AD currents. Thank you very much.